The incredible 90-second stress cure for the world-class executives. A man whose life is saturated in stress has no need to worry about stress eventually killing him, for he is already dead. His experience of life consists only of the nuts and bolts, a series of sequential events, wins and losses, checks and balances, money in versus money out, putting out fires, managing employees, trying to fix social dramas. He is a man who has wholeheartedly succumbed to the belief that if all of the things in his life can be fixed and arranged into a certain semblance of symmetry, then he will be able to truly live. Little does he realize that no man in history has ever been able to accomplish such a feat. Not one. Is this because he didn't try hard enough? Or because he wasn't smart enough? Or perhaps because he didn't know how? No. Then why has no man in history ever been able to tidy up all of his affairs, fix all his problems, and finally sit and relax? Because this thing we call life is a drop of quicksilver. You are free to arrange it into any shape you wish. But if you wish for it to maintain that shape, you had better be prepared to sit on your knees holding it in that position forever. For the moment you let go, it will become amorphous once again. Knowing this, does wisdom lie in trying to manage and fix and arrange your life? Or does it lie in understanding your life so completely that you live in a symbiosis with it? The modern executive's life is so full of stress that he often doesn't even recognize it as stress. He recognizes it as life itself. His stress, his worries, his fears have become part of the furniture. But he identifies stress as that one odd colored lampshade behind the corner sofa. At some point, he decides to seek help. He decides to attend a week-long seminar on stress management. Then he is doomed. Why? When I was a child, I had a habit of rubbing my lower lip. And my mother would say, "Stop rubbing your lower lip. You are going to make it swell." Her warning was so spot on, for the lip is a small mass of muscle. And if you irritate or manage it, the muscle will hypertrophy, grow. If you repeatedly rub or manage a part of your skin, acne will develop in that spot. Similarly, if you try to manage stress, it will spawn additional form of stress. For when the stress management tips and techniques don't work, then you will become stressed about not having overcome your stress. Then you are really sunk. For I don't know of any program or seminar or life coach, whatever that is, who gives you tips and techniques on how to overcome the stress that resulted from failed techniques of stress management seminars. You have already heard all the tips and techniques that these coaches and seminars teach 1,000 times, haven't you? You have already heard all the tips and techniques that these coaches and seminars teach 1,000 times, haven't you? You have heard the advice from the award-winning stress experts, the psychiatrists, and the psychologists, and so on, haven't you? In case you haven't, here they are. Breathe deeply, be present, reach out, create a social network, meditate, be mindful, exercise, spend time in nature, eat right, stay positive, do yoga, cognitive therapy, psychoanalysis, distance yourself emotionally, play, cognitive restructuring. Wow. Be grateful, remind yourself that you are worth it, and so on. I sit back and look at these so-called solutions, and I do understand why executives would entertain them. Why wouldn't they? They need help, and therefore they will seek help from the avenues that are most readily available to them. What I don't understand is how wonderfully intelligent human beings who are seeking to help their fellow men would allow themselves to succumb so drastically to the cosmetic and derivative. What I don't understand is why the rarest thing in the world is a man who is willing to walk to the ends of the earth in order to discover the truth. If a man or woman is going to become an expert in his or her field, then it is incumbent upon him or her to embark upon a journey into the wilds of the universe in order to find the answers that no one else has found. If you are going to become a world authority on something, should you not be driven by a maniacal and consuming desire to dive into the depths of the South China Sea or climb to the peaks of Nepalese Himalayas in order to get to find it? And not to open your goddamn mouth until you return battered, withered, and unshaven from this journey into the far corners of the world. And at that moment, the world will gather at your feet because you will deserve to be heard, because you did the work that no one else on the planet was driven to do. Let me ask you something. Do you want to manage your stress, or do you want to be free of it? If you want to manage it, go to a stress management seminar. If you want to be free from it, read on. First, a word about the techniques listed above. Things like breathing, be present, meditation. Is it wrong to recommend such things? I'll respond in this way. It is wrong to tell a middle school student to solve the problem of quantum gravity. It is wrong to tell a waitress who is earning minimum wage to invest $500,000 in a startup. It is wrong to tell a novice swimmer at YMCA to leave his minute and go swim in the English Channel. It's not wrong, but it's highly impractical. Unless you are willing to change your breathing pattern for life, it will only be a temporary fix. The stress will return with a vengeance. Meditation as a form of stress relief is also very temporary. Meditation for purposes of realization and self-inquiry is a different animal altogether. As for being present, let me tell you that it took Buddha 7 years of asceticism in the isolation of jungles of northern India to learn to become present. And yet these people spout the phrase be present as if it were a 20-yard stroll to the corner market. Instead of embarking upon this fruitless stroll to the corner market, I'll give you something that will literally catapult your ability to single-handedly rid yourself of all your unwanted stress. Are you interested? Very well. You see, in your life you have events or deals or happenings that could go either way. If they the way you'd like them to, you gain pleasure. If they go the other way, you feel pain. Now the ultimate journey is to arrive at a point in which you are untouched by pleasure or pain. But this is a journey toward becoming a god. This is a journey toward attaining human perfection. This is the journey of journeys. It is the journey of the few. It is the legendary journey of the man who insists upon nothing less than the ultimate. There are clients of mine who I am guiding through this very journey, but this is only because they are among those rare princes of mankind who have expressed an unflinching desire to embark upon it. The universe has arranged it so that our path would serendipitously intersect, and it is truly an honor to explore this ultimate journey of man with these rare individuals. If this is the sort of journey that grabs your heart, perhaps you are also one of these rare souls, and this journey awaits you. In the meantime, I would like to give you $1 million gift of truth, which you may keep and which you may employ for the rest of your life. As I mentioned before, in your life there are several things that might go your way or they might not. What this incredibly resourceful mind of yours does is that it takes this raw material of possibilities and constructs an elaborate scaffolding of hope and fear. This is the skeletal structure that we call stress. It runs a loop of recurring thoughts which you simmer inside of. This is your experience of stress. There is something you must understand about the mind, something that it doesn't want you to know. But I'll reveal it to you here. The mind is 10 times more fearful of not getting what it wants than it is desirous of getting what it wants. Read that again. Mind is 10 times more fearful of not getting what it wants than it is desirous of getting what it wants. And it is for this reason that it runs like a wild hog through your head. But you can settle this mind and cure your stress in 90 seconds. Shall I give you the secret? Very well, my fellow man. Go to your mind and say this: My dear mind, I understand that you are agitated. If I were you, I would be agitated as well, given the uncertain, trying circumstances we face. You can keep your stress. I wouldn't dream of taking it away from you. But if you could please limit it to 10% of what it is now, I am willing to accept 10% stress so that I may immediately feel 90% freedom. I will keep my word. But I ask that you please keep yours. I cannot move 1 inch past the 10% mark, and I will not meddle anywhere within your 10% boundary. And you will not meddle anywhere within my 10% boundary of freedom. Thank you. Thank you, mind. Let's begin now. From that point forward, you will notice that the mind will recalibrate and regulate itself to stay within the 10% limit. One final secret. But don't tell your mind I said this. You will initially bait the mind with 10%. And once it goes to 10%, which it has no choice but to do, as time goes on, you will make a new contract with it, ultimately reducing it to zero. The freedom you have searched for all your adult life is finally here.